Getting the COVID-19 test was an interesting experience for some of our staff, including me. Let's eavesdrop on a Zoom conversation that took place earlier today, where myself and 3 other Akakū staff members told their COVID testing story.
We made an appointment at CVS in Pukalani. Unbeknownst to us, it was their only second day doing it. So it was kind of a mess, but not really their fault. We get there 15 minutes early. There's severe computer problems. We're there over like 45 minutes, over an hour just waiting. They couldn't figure out the insurance. They couldn't figure out why we were getting tested, even though I had done all the paperwork properly. Anyway, the people were really, really nice, but they did not have the system up and ready yet. We waited so long that my car battery died in the parking lot waiting. The good news is that they did contact us later in the day, throughout the day, a few times actually, about the incident and why it took so long and what the issues were.
Yeah, initially I called Kaiser and requested for an appointment, and they said that the physician assistant would call me back. So they did call me back, and when I had given her my experience as far as being directly exposed to the individual, they did say that I was at low risk because I wasn't around the person for more than 20 minutes unmasked. They ended up saying that I probably didn't need to take the test. Talking to my employer, he said we should take the test. I called back Kaiser. The receptionist said, if the physician assistant says, the same thing, just tell them you want to take the test because, it's for a peace of mind. They did call me later on, schedule an appointment within 20 minutes. I went up. The experience was pretty easy, simple. It wasn't painful to me at all. My battery didn't die. But I did have a good experience just because they took me in fairly quickly. But they did say that they weren't going to call me unless I was positive, which was kind of weird. And I got a message from kp.org, and they did say that my test was negative. So overall, it just seemed like it wasn't really a big deal. But yet, to me, it was as an individual because I wanted to get tested. It was almost like they were trying to talk me out of it.
Well, yeah, on Saturday night, I went online to schedule an appointment with CVS, and I filled out all the forms, and I hit the submit button, and all my documents disappeared. After that, I went to the Minute Medical site. I filled out the forms on the Minute Medical site. I uploaded my ID, and then I waited about 15 minutes for a doctor's telemedicine visit. And after a few follow-up questions with the doctor, he scheduled my appointment for the next morning, Sunday. I drove to the Kihei office, and within 2 minutes, the nurse appeared. She did a nasal swab through the window of my car. She said I would receive my results in 24 to 36 hours. As it turns out, I did receive negative results before noon on Monday. And also, when I checked my email results, I was informed that I was not pregnant.
I went to Doctors on Call. I told them my situation, and upon arrival, they realized that they didn't accept my insurance. So I went into Lahaina and I went to the Maui Medical Group. And when I approached the facility, they told me they actually weren't offering rapid COVID tests. So I would have to try Minute Medical. It was really a streamlined process. I made my appointment online. They were doing testing in the parking lot. It was rather quick, and they told me they would have my results by the end of the day. However, I would have to come back later that week to get retested, which later I found out was vastly different from the experience that my coworker had. She was told that her results wouldn't be ready for about 24 to 48 hours. I got my result later on that day. It was negative, thank goodness. And I just thought that was really interesting that the two of us had the same situation, told them the same story, but had 2 different experiences.